Spoilers for the last episode of She-Ra. It's 2020. The world is facing a pandemic. Universities are closed, so I'm stuck in my parents' house with my brother. I barely have any online classes, so I spend my days playing games, watching movies, doing whatever, and generally wasting a lot of time. Among all those extremely productive activities, one thing stands out: Shira and the Princesses of Power by Noelle Stevenson. I was enchanted with this show. Everything about it was great. I felt connected to the characters and I was having a blast. I would get extremely desperate anytime a major event happened that made the lives of the characters harder. I was totally immersed. It actually took me a real while to finish the show, since I was only watching 2 or 3 episodes a day, because I really wanted to process my feelings and absorb what I was watching, and nothing is worse to properly do those things than binging 50 episodes in a week. And so there I was watching Shira, and then the final season came. Now, first, I need to talk a bit about myself. I am a sensitive guy, but I don't tend to cry when watching shows or movies. If I were to count the times I cried while watching something, it probably wouldn't even reach 5. And trust me when I tell you, I watch a lot of movies. Certain styles pushed my buttons better than others. For example, I would always get weirdly emotional watching old fantasy movies like The Dark Crystal, pondering about the feeling of magic and wonder that these movies used to have. Or get borderline melancholic and nostalgic after watching a Miyazaki movie or something like The Breakfast Club. I was also really happy when I found new LGBT content in the media I watched. This is something hard to explain to a cis straight person, but there is something not only validating, but beautiful and reassuring in seeing healthy LGBT relationships in media, especially for a lonely guy like myself. And with that bit of context, we come to Shira. There were only 2 episodes left. I was really excited. We would finally face the Horde, see the final moments of the war, see what would become of my heroes. I was already on the edge of my seat the whole time, and in the final moments of the last episode, the kiss happened. Seeing Katra and Adora finally proclaiming their love for each other and kissing made me cry tears of joy, and cry a lot I did. I couldn't be happier seeing these two characters that I adored, both women, finally getting their way with love. It was a special moment. And then, a few minutes later, the episode ended. There I was, crying my tears of joy, amazed by the journey I went through. When it hit me, it ended, and I was alone. From that point on, a deep melancholy surged in myself. I was feeling lonely. I started to ponder on how that deep emotional connection, not even the amorous one between Katra and Adora, but that intimate, friendly connection between like Adora and Glimmer, that connection is something I never had. And that broke me. Now, not to be unfair, but I have tons of friends that I love. My parents, despite their flaws, are loving and caring, and my brother is a total bro. But that connection, that I don't have it with any of them. and I don't think they would even understand. That sadness that surged in me wasn't new. It's something that was always looming over there in the corner. Sometimes it came to haunt me, but for most of the time, I was too distracted playing video games to pay due attention to it. I always had problems opening myself to people, being truly sincere and intimate, even with all the support of my friends. I've always had problems with anxiety and loneliness, and god damn it, I can even reach my friends to beg for hugs properly, since everyone is stuck at home at their respective cities. Right now, I just want some hugs. So many problems seem to compound together. My anxieties, my fears, my inaction that made me just go by without truly living my best life. It's almost infuriating considering how privileged I am, how I have every opportunity at the tip of my hand, but there is something holding me back. Almost makes me feel like all this sadness is invalid, which is ludicrous. I know every person has their own personal hell to deal with. It's subjective, but still, I feel alone. Maybe I don't want to be alone. Maybe I want to act like myself. Maybe I need to open up. Yikes. I've been melancholic for a few days, but I know it will pass. I will eventually get distracted again and forget about it until the next breakdown happens. But the thing is, I don't want a next breakdown to happen. Hell, someday this pandemic has to end, and then I'll resume my studies in the university, and I'll move to a new apartment, and maybe then I'll finally be able to change. My anxiety tells me I'm not gonna be able to, but who knows? Well, I don't know. I don't know anything. I only know is that I don't want to feel bad anymore. Maybe I gotta change. I have no idea how, but I have to. But at least I can look at my life and I can also remember that scene, Katra and Adora, both kissing in the heart of Etheria. And with a smile, I can say, I want that. It's ironic because that same scene that broke me is kind of motivating me as well. It makes me feel like I want to carve a magical story for myself. And hey, who knows? Maybe we're gonna win in the end. Stay strong.